We need your help to stop the next generation. Please, spay or neuter your pets today. Please come to PetSense on Saturday to buy a voucher. Doors open at 9 and are open until 11.
Dear humans, this is an adoption campaign, but it's not for me, or Mr. Buttons, or Frank over there. It's for you, humans. This is a call to humans to adopt our movement, to adopt our cause.
This isn't just about saving one of us.
It's about saving all of us.
Thousands of lives, every single day.
It's about support for every one of us four, and sometimes not four-legged best friends, waiting to meet a best friend of our own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge.
Shelter by shelter, city by city.
We can save thousands of pets each day. Join us. Together we can save them all.
Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. If you need to get your dog or cat spayed or neutered, then come to the voucher sale. We're having it this weekend. Remember, it's Saturday at PetSense, 9 to 11, and the vouchers are $30. So please make sure that your family and friends know that we're having this sale. We will be there at 9 a.m. and we're there until we run out. So make sure to come early and get ready to get your spay and neuter voucher. If you have questions about it, please go to the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill's Facebook page, or you can email us at theferaldogsofavondalemill@gmail.com, and we can have all of your questions answered. Make sure you contact us if you need anything. Make sure everyone knows that it's happening, because we really want to be able to get every voucher sold. Alabama Spay and Neuter will be there, so we've got some extra things going on, and if you have questions about that, you can watch last week's Pet Connect when I interviewed Mitzi Martin. We went through everything that's going to happen at the voucher event. Now this Saturday, you also, if you're looking for a dog, you can walk right across the parking lot and go to Starbucks. The Sylacauga Animal Shelter is going to be having an adoption event. They're partnering with Starbucks. So I've asked my two guests to come on today to tell us all about this event. So I've got Trish Smith, she's the assistant manager at the Sylacauga Animal Shelter, and Emily Adrian, she is the shift supervisor at Starbucks. So thank you ladies for coming on the show.
Good morning, thanks for having us.
Now, Emily, how did all this come about? Because I know that Starbucks has done so much for the shelter partnering with them. So how did you guys start doing that?
So we are really involved as much as we can be with our community, and we try to reach out to different places. We work a lot with the animal shelter just because I know a lot of us at Starbucks are animal lovers. So I talked to my district manager, and we really got the idea going. We reached out to the animal shelter and said, hey, what can we do? Can we do this? Like, would you guys be willing to bring some dogs and we can figure everything out? So it was really fun planning and getting everything ready, you know.
And it sounds like a great event. So tell us about the event. What time, what's going to be happening?
We're going to have some dogs there and some cats if the weather permits.
Okay.
Because if it's too hot, they really can't, or if it's raining, we don't want to have the cats out there. We're going to have the dogs out there. We'll have foster forms, so you could take the dogs straight home from there if you find one you like. It's going to be from 9 to 12 at Starbucks.
Okay.
Right across from the voucher cell.
So let's talk about, you said that you'll have foster forms there. So the actual adoptions won't necessarily happen there, but you encourage people to take dogs home to foster to see if they fit with the family.
Yes.
So let's talk about that procedure.
Okay. So we always encourage everybody to foster the animal first for a week. That way they can make sure it's a good fit in their home. Sometimes the animals get to the homes and their whole different personality comes out, or maybe their cat or dog doesn't get along with them well. So we just encourage everybody to foster for a week. If you need more time, you can always just call us and say, hey, I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Or some people know right away and they come back the next day and they're like, I want to make the pet mine. So it's just it's better because that way you're not committed, you haven't spent your money, you just foster it for a week.
How much is it to adopt a pet from the shelter?
Dogs are $120, cats are $80.
Okay.
That's going to include the spay, the neuter, their rabies, and the core vaccinations they receive at the shelter.
Okay.
As well as if the dog's heartworm positive, we'll treat the
Okay.
heartworms.
So you're going to get the dog or cat, and everything is ready to go.
Yes.
You'll be good for
At least a year.
Okay. Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Now, so the event starts at 9, and you're there from 9 to 12. If you need a dog, they'll be there for sure. But cats, you can always go to the shelter to meet the cats, or
Right.
we've got some of the shelter cats at PetSense. So
Yes.
it'll be right across the parking lot. You can meet the cats there as well. Here's some dogs coming up, Trish. So, who is Danny Wayne?
Danny Wayne. That's just a little puppy that came in. He came in with, I guess, his mom or his sibling.
Okay.
I'm not sure like who she is related to him, but he kind of like whines a lot.
Okay.
But he wants
he
to
needs
be
a home.
held. Yes, he needs attention. So he's really cute. He's playful, and when I say whine, he's not a bad. He just really wants attention. He loves when you're holding him. He's fine.
And that's where it'll be great to get him in a home, because at the
Yes.
shelter, you guys have a full shelter full of dogs.
Right.
So he'll do great there. Now, Charlie's one of my favorites. Let's talk about Charlie.
Charlie's so sweet, so well-mannered, beautiful. He's a hound dog, so he's a hound dog. He barks.
But you know, he's quiet when we're out on walks, when the volunteers
Yeah.
are there, and we've had him at the adoption events, because this is a picture from Crazy Days. He didn't bark for a second.
Again, I think that's the attention thing.
Yeah.
They bark back there because they're bored and they need attention that
So-
we just can't give them all the time.
Monty. I know
Monty.
he's one of your favorites, I'm sure.
He's a little meatball. He loves to eat. He's still really young, so I don't know that much about like what he's gonna be like, but he's pretty cute. I mean, he's just cute. Juliet, she's really sweet. She's a puppy. She's about 4 to 5 months old. She loves other dogs. She's very playful.
Okay. And we may have, there we go, there's Sailor.
Sailor, this is the best. Like, she's the most well-mannered dog. She's quiet. She's doesn't jump on you. She doesn't bark a lot. She's so mellow and chill, and she's a really good dog.
And there's little Cora. She looks so sweet.
Yeah, she's pretty like timid, I guess you could
Okay.
say, but she's really sweet.
So she'll need just a little bit of
Yeah.
work. Now look at these two little babies.
We actually need help naming these, so maybe Saturday
Oh.
you can come out and help name them. They're Audrey's pups. They have some siblings. We're only going to bring like 2 of them. They're pretty young, but
And Audrey came to the shelter very pregnant, right?
She did.
And had her babies there. Okay.
she did. She had them shortly after she got there.
Well, I think that sounds like a job for Starbucks, because I was when talking to Emily, they actually helped name a litter of puppies in the past. So tell us how that happened.
Yes, so Miss Stephanie actually talked to me and she was like, hey, would you guys be interested in coming up with some Starbucks names to help get our dogs out there, you know, get them adopted? And so I got a meeting one day with the store and we all came up, sat around the table and came up with a list of names. And I actually brought my daughter with me to the shelter to talk with Stephanie. We looked through it, we picked our favorites, and she printed out a packet with all the dogs that we named, with their
Okay.
pictures. They're so cute.
And I just love to see these different partnerships with the community and the shelter, because that gets more of the word out that they're wonderful
Yeah.
dogs and puppies and cats and kittens at the shelter that need to be adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you also at Starbucks, Stephanie's the shelter manager, so Stephanie is able to bring you guys pictures of dogs that are available, and you can have, do you highlight a pet of the week, or how do y'all do that?
So most recently, she gave us some framed pictures of a couple of the dogs,
Okay.
and they had the name and a cute description of like what the dog liked, what they enjoyed, how they acted, and they were really popular. We got a lot of questions about them. I remember the fan favorite was Tatiana. She was a Great Pyrenees.
So, and that's great, because that gives the shelter another avenue to get the word out that these dogs are there. And I love it that people are interested, that they see it and they have a lot of questions, and that you can answer those because they gave you all the answers for it. Now, so with pup cups. Let's talk about that for a moment, because I love to see pictures, especially when people take dogs on doggy day outs and they love to go to Starbucks to give them pup cups. So tell us about pup cups and how you get them and what you've seen with dogs coming through.
So we get dogs and cats that come through the drive-thru. Honestly, it's my favorite part of the day. Please bring your dogs. The pup cups are free, so if you make any purchase at all, we will give you as many pup cups as you need for your babies. And we love to talk to the dogs, interact with the dogs. Every barista on the floor will be at the window to see them.
That's great. And now you said cats coming through. People are bringing their cats through the drive-thru?
Yes, we had a Maine Coon that came and sat on the patio. She was very well-mannered. We love to see. We have actually a little baby golden retriever. So cute. We'll go out there. I've actually given them the pup cup before. Okay. We'll go out and talk to them. They're so cute. We've had a lot of animals come through the drive-thru. Babies, adult dogs, senior dogs.
Do cats eat a pup cup?
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
So you need to have some other different kind of concoction and call it Kit Cups
cat
or
cup.
something. That would be great.
Come get a cat cup.
Now, I mentioned just in passing about the doggy day outs, because people will bring, they'll show pictures of dogs that they have picked up from the shelter just to get them a break from shelter life. Let's talk about what happens with a doggy day out, in case someone's wondering.
Yes, we really need people to do doggy day outs. So they just come pick up the animal. You could do it for a couple hours. You could do it for 8 hours. Just pick the dog up. You could take it to Starbucks. We always suggest they go to Starbucks and get a pup cup. Walk it around. We have little bandanas they can wear that says, "I'm available for adoption." Kind of get the dog some exposure and just break from the shelter, because it can be loud in there. And just get them out.
Yeah.
It's really good. So all you have to do is come up there and fill out a form, and you could take the dog out for the day.
And that's so helpful. Like you said, not only just to bring the dog, to get it out of the shelter and experience some things, get some exposure, but that helps also when we're trying to get dogs to rescue, because we'll have pictures of them eating a pup cup or sitting in a car, or things that'll make the rescues in other states that are trying to help us out really fall in love with those dogs. Not to mention the names. That those names are great. When you I loved all the names you gave that litter that you guys sat down and figured out. So let's talk real quick. Emily, you haven't been on the show before. You have a dog and you have a story about your pet. So let's talk about Apollo.
Apollo is a German Shepherd. About 2 years ago on the 4th of July, we went outside and he was just there sitting under a tree. And at first we were like, oh, that's a big dog. But when we went out to check on him, he was the sweetest thing. He's so good with our daughter, who's 3. He's very gentle. He's very sweet. He's a big baby. He was in really bad shape when we first got him. We took him immediately to the vet. He was malnourished. He was covered in gunk. So we gave him a bath. We got him some medicine and some treatment. And he is living his best life right now.
That's great. And I know especially Trish loves to hear these stories, because that's a dog that you were able to save that didn't end up at the shelter.
Right.
And that's always nice to not only for people to adopt from the shelter, but to help out to where they never end up at the shelter. So I love those stories.
Me too. Those are the best.
He chose us. So.
That's great.
He did.
And they often do. I'll hear people say that the dogs or cats chose them.
Right.
And so that happens.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about shelter needs before we go, Trish, because I know that there's constant needs there because y'all are full. So let's talk about what you need right now, besides adoptions.
We need some cleaning supplies, spray cleaner with bleach, paper towels. We can always use wet and dry dog food, wet and dry puppy food. If you're not able to, spend that money, because we realize it's kind of hard for some people right now. You can always just volunteer some of your time. You can share a post even. And that's about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, if you have volunteers coming to the shelter, what days do you prefer? Can it be any day of the week?
So as you know, Saturdays, feral dogs, you guys come out and there's a lot of people there, so that's always a lot of fun. But you can come out any day and walk dogs, 10:30 to 3:30 preferably, but if you want to come in the morning, we're there. So just give us a call the day before and just let us know you're coming, and we'll give you a dog to walk.
And the dog will love every second of it.
Yes.
Now, Trish just mentioned walking dogs. There will not be dog walking this Saturday
Right.
because of the adoption event. So please make sure if you normally come out and walk, or if you were thinking about trying it, this Saturday we're not going to have the planned dog walking.
Right.
Then we'll be back the next Saturday, weather permitting. So hopefully we'll have
Yes.
some nice days where it's not raining so much. But thank you both so much for coming on the show. I appreciate you sharing your information about Starbucks, about the adoption event, about the shelter. And make sure to come out and tell your friends and family that we've got dogs available for adoption at Starbucks, and we're also across the parking lot doing our $30 spay and neuter voucher sales. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that area of Sylacauga this Saturday. So we would love to see everyone out there. You can come and meet all the beautiful dogs that Trish just talked about, and you can also make sure we don't end up with more dogs by coming to the spay and neuter voucher event. But thank you again for coming on the show, and we'll have you back on to tell us how successful it was, and hopefully every one of those dogs found a home.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us, and we'll have more Daybreak after these messages.
We need your help to stop the next generation. Please, spay or neuter your pets today. Please come to PetSense on Saturday to buy a voucher. Doors open at 9 and are open until 11.